Hey guys, welcome back to another video on Solo Leveling Arise, Black Thunder here. So this will be kind of a yapping video like on the hunters and how you can predict the future units like their passives already, seeing the current units because obviously they will also help them to even deal more damage or buff them. But like I said, you need to make up your goal. Like is it your goal to do less time in POT? So go for that units, or you need to do more damage in POD and be in top 3k and get that Demon King dagger skin, the purple one. Or you need to do more rage count if you are in a competitive guild. So you have to make teams according to that. Or like me, your main aim is workshop and get in top 1k. So you are focusing on that. Like no doubt with Thomas and Akari you can go about till like 1 minute and 7 seconds, but you must have seen the Mune runs. They are 49 seconds, 50 seconds. So like I said, you need to focus on your goal and summon accordingly. Like obviously I cannot make the top 3k here because my fire team is shit and I also need Mune to do more damage on the light run. Like if you are a new player or a F2P player, then and your main like aim will be workshop obviously. So you can see like here are all the elements, and the most common element in all the four workshop is wind. You can see both of them have wind. And if we see the demo, so he has fire and light, but when the new workshop comes I think he will also have all the elements. And my voice cracked like a bitch. And yogurt also have like wind. So three workshops have wind and one has fire. So that's why I summon accordingly, like fire and wind in my F2P account, and I managed to clear everything till normal yogurt. So now let me show you the trick, like how units are made, and you can like see their passives and think whether to choose them or like skip them. So here you can see like her ability increases in the workshop, so she's kind of a workshop unit because you remember she came around like hard mode demos just to sell her. And mainly her passives are like the prey of the week, which increases the damage dealt and like fire damage dealing. And also she increases the 12% defense penetration because all of the fire units scale off that. And she is attack scaling, so the more attack you give her, the faster the break she'll do. And also when you do her ultimate skill, so you'll get more prey of the weak stacks even faster. And similarly is Gina, like she increases the defense penetration of the whole team at A4, and A5 passive is kind of selfish, it increases the damage of herself. And like I said, increase fire damage dealt and damage dealt increase similar to that. So combine both of these buffs and put it to the Kanai, like the prey of the weak defense penetration from Esil and more defense penetration from Gina and fire damage dealing increase. And not to mention her own passives deal a ton of damage, like Kamai Tachi is there, fire is there, and core attack is there. So like I said, if you have them all three, they will work in synchronicity and deal massive damage. I'll discuss the collab units in the end, like the fire, dark, and the light one. First, let's just cover the team so you can understand better. Now comes the perfect buffer Marin. She increases attack and defense, and also she increases the damage of the core attack. So you can see best fit for Vetcha, and she decreases the damage taken and also increases the damage dealt. So like she's the perfect buffer for Vetcha, and she was also really good for Alicia when she was there. Only thing is, like when Siorin came, so she came with a passive, like you can see here, it increases her break effectiveness in the workshop too. So only thing we couldn't use Alicia was she only like increases the defense and HP. So it was like beneficial to Malin and Vetcha, not to Alicia. So that was kind of a soft lock or a gimmick they put. So we cannot use Alicia just to sell Vetcha. So these gimmicks can be there. Like if a DPS comes, so a breaker will be directly proportional to that DPS or support unit. And now comes Vetcha, so she herself increases her defense like with the basic skill 1 or basic skill 2, and her ultimate hits like a truck. And with the buffs like the defense buff increase from both Sioran and Malin, and core attack damage increase from Malin, she will deal massive damage. And not to mention the 10 stacks of water damage dealt increase of Sioran, that the debuff she puts on the boss. Now comes the light team, like Gogan is there, obviously he like puts the debuff on the boss with the basic skill 1, and also basic skill 2 increases the light elemental weakness. So he's really good for like Thomas and Mion because he came before Thomas release, so obviously Thomas had to be in proportional to him. So now comes Min. Like Min is not too great, only he's useful for his A5 passive. Otherwise, all of his passives are shit. This 50% damage dealt increase helps Thomas deal more damage and the punishment effect. And now comes Thomas, so he increases the damage of himself, like increasing defense and also the buffs and debuff that Gogani provides on the boss and to Thomas. And 50% damage on the ultimate when you do it in the Goliath form. So Black Hole even deals more damage. Like Akari is also good because of that 20% light damage increase, thanks to her ultimate, the full moon. And also Mayon is there. But seriously, we need a good breaker which puts more elemental weakness on the boss. No doubt Gogani is good, but like I said, we need something like Sioran, light element Sioran. And we need kind of a mail-in support for light team, which increases like core attack and defense and various other buffs. Like if I see the passives of the dark team, you'll see here, like this Harper alone puts 32 stacks of this ultimate damage, dealt increase, debuff on the boss. You can see here, and our hold down skill puts so much like stacks of that. Like Dark Team is still in the perfect synchronicity if you see it. Like Ayla also increases attack, defense, and various other buffs, and not to mention her death ultimate, which increases the damage of the Charlotte's ultimate even more for some time. And she gives like ton of crazy damage increase, so it really helps Charlotte. And you can see like Charlotte has ton of buffs herself, and when you like do her ultimate with the 32 stacks of Harper and damage increase from Ayla too, so her ultimate is really bonkers. So we can predict like Ayla will be irreplaceable, obviously for two big reasons. So since she increases the ultimate damage and also like increases attack or defense, so we can predict like the future DPS unit which I'll be going for, that goth chick of the collab one with black hair. So she might be really good too, and ultimate scaling one of that. Now let's see the win team. Like Goto is there, and his like passives and the buffs he provides are for infinite duration. And not to mention, if you put the hunter on the third slot like Lennart, it deals more damage. And obviously Gina is there. She is like directly built for Lennart and increases damage even more when Lennart puts unrecoverable, because that's the gimmick. Like when a hunter puts unrecoverable, so he or she will deal more damage. Like since I don't have Lennart, but let's see the Hansemi. Like she only used to buff attacks since she was only made for like Mire, but later after the balance adjustments they even added defense just for Lennart. But the true potential of Lennart was like unlocked with Gina because of the damage it dealt increase when target puts unrecoverable, and he himself like puts debuff on the boss like that cage one, so he can deal more damage. And these Tempest debuffs, like you can imagine like ton of damage increase from Goto and his buffs and the third slot buff and then Gina. So combine that, like all the passives, he's doing crazy damage in POD, Guild Boss, Workshop, you name it. So now comes the main three hunters. Like if you have seen Meon, so she's really good for hard mode POD and Guild Boss and BOT and Workshop. She's shining everywhere. And not to mention like Shuhua is also dealing massive damage in Guild Boss and POD. So what I'm trying to say is if you're a like POD Paglu, like you like to hard try on POD, so you'll need that fire unit and dark unit and the light unit too if she also comes as a DPS, because these units will be built for the hard mode POD. Like you can already see Meon Shu are already dealing massive damage in hard mode. So the fire DPS, dark DPS, they will go bonkers when their team is finalized. Like there might be a chance even Lennart and Kanai might be benched for the new like DPS if the fire one is a DPS and the wind one. So let's see. But I am going for the dark team, and the good thing is if you lose the pity, so you will get the next collab hunter. So you can make like A2, A3 of the next ones too. Like I'll be going for dark, no doubt. But if I manage to get like A2 or 3 of the other hunters while losing pity, so it will be a W. So like I said, start reading passives. It will help you like predict what will the future units have. Like Ayla has damage increase and ultimate damage increase buff. So if I remember correct, that like dark hair girl name is Mine. So she will like scale off the ultimate to like be directly proportional with the Ayla buffs, and we might get like Sung Jinwoo's father El Huan as the breaker, so he will be directly proportional or made for Mine to buff her even more. And that orange haired girl, if she will be a fire DPS, then I can be sure Kana is getting benched, no doubt. And I want to see Lennart also getting benched, like why not? People spend so much on building him just to get to see him like benched after a month of use. But this is it, and hope it helps you like predict the future units by seeing the passives of the current units. Like you can imagine Yusoyun, who came so later in the game, like so early, she got to shine just because of Gina buffs and SL spray of the weak buff. So you can imagine anything can happen just because of the passives. They are really important. And if you are new to the channel, you know the drill. Like, subscribe, and share, and hit that notification bell. We are very close to 1,000 subs. And let's aim 20 likes on this video too. And I'll see you next time. Till then, take care.